Welcome to Yorkshireman Models. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We've got a little Tiger 1/172 scale from Airfix. This is the starter set type where you get the glue, some paint and a brush. I'm not going to use the glues and paints and that. I'm going to paint it with my own paints. I've got some Tamiya ones and I will be using an airbrush on it. But it's a very simple build. It's a very nice, easy kit to do, so if you've never done one and you're thinking about taking up modelling, little kits like this are a great start. You can pick up aircraft, tanks, cars, even boats from Airfix in this style where you get brush paints and some glue to go with. So, nothing special about the box other than the usual. You get the one paint scheme. It's telling you it's a level 1. Cartograph decals, always nice, but other than that, as you can see, no great different. You have got on the back the painting instructions. As you can see, it's really only one colour, but I'll see what I want to do when I come around to painting of it. I mean, you get three coloured paints. You've got the main colour, you've got some track paint, and you've got some paint for the little bits like, I just said, guns, stuff like that, toy eyes maybe, exhaust, whatever. But yeah, that's it, 3 paints. First off, we'll get the actual kit out of the box. Now this kit I've had a little while, in all honesty, and because of that the paints are going to probably be dried up. It does happen with them. There's not a lot you can do about it. You just have to accept it that eventually these paints dry up, especially with these pots that you get with them. So there's the brush, usual, nothing special. They are pretty good brushes though, in all honesty. For what they are, they're better than some of the Revel ones and stuff like that I've found that you get. They tend to be a little bit better than Umbro ones. We've got some paints here. Just going to see if they are any good. Like glue, like I say, I don't like that glue. It is a very good glue in the sense of it does work, but it gets everywhere unless you're really finicking about using like a toothpick, something like that. So you put it on a bit of card off your box, dab a bit, put it on like that. Otherwise it absolutely floods out the end of the nozzles on these and it ruins models. So let's see if we've got any paint that's usable. Oh, that's perfect, that looks of that. That's good paint, that. Number 33. This one's 53. I can already see this has dried up. Yeah, this is they are better pots than these. These are the older style pots, and you can see it's already dried up completely. No good. So that's what bin. And this one, again, you're probably going to find it's not very good. Even lid don't want to come off, what we like. Yeah, it's dried up, you can see. There's a tiny bit of moisture in the bottom, but that's it. But that's okay, because I've gotten quite a few Tamiya ones anyway, that's the proper German colours, so we can use them. Them two are no good, that one's alright. They always come in an auto keep for in case you're going to use them on hotels. Other kits, if you ain't got a lot of paints, try and keep them, and they always come in for touching up on stuff and everything. There's your decals, not a lot. These will be your basic instructions for the gift sets, as they call them. Starter sets is what I've always known them as more, but I think this is because this is what you got in Lidl, so they changed it to gift set. But whatever it is, they're all the same to me. And it's very simple build. It's nice to be in colour. You can see there. That's so. Not a lot. That's why I'm doing it, because I want a little bit of a chance. That's your that piece of tube there. That's for your brush. It must have already fallen off in the box, and it's to protect the bristles so they don't get damaged when you're not using it. Here's the kit. A very weird looking plastic. It's not very yellow. More than orangey yellow than anything, but anyway, plastic's plastic, it'll just get built and then all painted. You can see you've got 3 sprues, you've got full sets there, already done. Obviously you're gluing 2 together like that, which is nice, in all honesty. I don't like the rubber band tracks where you print them on after. They tend to snap after a while. The pieces here, which are nice as well. And then these here. I do believe, I may be wrong here, but I don't know if this is the newer one. I think it might be. Let me just check the date on this. I don't know if it's got it on. It should do, they normally do. I cannot see it there. Oh, there. No. Oh yeah, 2022. The kit, I'm sure the original ones didn't have the storage box on the back. So you got the Tiger, but without the storage box. To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen one without a storage box in photos. There's obviously some that obviously they took up or whatever, but it is better with storage box on. But I'm pretty sure they did one before without. I think it was Airfix. I might be wrong. It's a long time since I've done a lot of these small armour models. Your tools are already on a lot of it. I'd say it makes it easier when you're starting off. You're not having to try cutting these fiddly little bits of tools off and then breaking them. So we'll start building her, and we'll see how we get on with building this little beaut of a kit. You'll see here I'm cutting these parts off with a pair of proper modelling nippers. These are. You don't have to have as expensive as these. You can pick up wire cutters that are flat bladed like this for very cheap, for £4 or £5 at most. Now, if you ain't got them because you're new to modelling and you're just starting, always make sure you cut as far away from where the actual sprue joins the plastic, and then that way you can clean it off with a knife and sand it down like you just saw me doing. The glue I'm using is Tamiya Extra Thin. I don't like using the Umbro one personally, but that's just me. The Umbro one does work. I don't like the system with a bottle and like that, so, well, it's not a bottle, sorry, a tube. I prefer this with bottle. We've got a bottle and a very thin brush, so you put in a very fine amount on, and it's very thin glue, so it gets into all cracks and that. All the parts are fitting together absolutely lovely, you can see there. You just got to make sure when you're using this Tamiya Extra Thin that you don't touch anywhere near where the parts are that you're putting on, because if you do, you tend to end up smearing, putting a little thumbprint in that you have to sand out if you're not careful. The other thing about this Tamiya Extra Thin that I find handy, you can dry fit parts like this and then add the glue, where if you're actually doing it with the Umbro glue, what you'll find out is you've got to put the glue on first, because it doesn't soak into seams like this does. Which is really handy when you look at it in that sense. But it's just what you like, what you get used to over years. This top deck section that you can see here, a lot of the smaller parts, if you had a 1/35 scale version, you would be adding them. But you can see there's like shovels, the jacking blocks, stuff like that. They're already attached to it. These are the side skirts now, just getting added. It's all pretty simple, like I say. And the instructions as well, very good. Very easy to follow, well laid out. For a starter kit or gift set, whatever you want to call it, it's absolutely fantastic. You can see it's been built, or made, should I say, with the thought of modelers for the first time if they're doing it, or for anybody if they're not well experienced. They're the engine exhaust, should I say, not engine. They're exhaust. That's the jacking block. The jack itself, not the block. That's the jack. These are the exhaust covers that go over. You tend to see on most of the pictures of them, they're dented to high heaven, holes in, torn apart, but they're only thin steel just to cover over exhausts. You can see there the other one on other side of them fitted. That will be all of the smaller parts then fitted on this lower section. Oh, sorry, no, we're not. I've got to put machine gun on and vision port at the front. There you see it's a one piece, that, even though a lot of them, you get a little tiny machine gun to shove in a hole. The Airfix have made it so it's just one part. And that's the driver's vision block. I did put a little drop of glue behind them before I actually put it on, just to try and make sure it does. Right, the turret now, you've got to be a little bit careful with turret, because you want your gun to move, and you've also got to be careful on how you seat it. Look at the instructions and make sure you're facing it the right way. But if I'll say it right way, it's not putting it pointing inside. Obviously, you've got a machine gun on it and you've also got the vision hole for, or is it the periscope, whatever you want to call it. But that's what you've got to make sure that the right way around. This is the storage box at the back. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the first models, they did it without the storage box, because I think the first Tigers that went out, they didn't have it. They didn't have much storage space, so they added that to it. The actual barrel itself now, you've just got the muzzle. You just half of a muzzle to glow on, and that technically is it. I'll just press them together to make sure that it seams up all right. You've got a few parts now I'm putting on. They are small, these and all, and you'll see what happens with one of them in a sec. But a little drop of glue on first, and I mean a little tiny drop, just to make sure it'll hold in place, and then I'll just go around it after like that, just to make sure it stays. Saying that, I'm pushing it all over. And the back door area. Just got to be careful pushing it and touching it there. I'm going to show you here. You can see that part, but B8 is it, whatever. I've lost it. I cut it off at sprue and I don't know where it's gone. So after a bit of white plastic card, I've made another part similar up. Now, I'm not saying it's right or whatever, perfect. That just spins until you get it right, by the way. I know I'm showing you like that, but it does get it right, and then you can get it pushed into where it should go. You can feel it when it slots in. And just to show you, it just sits on like that. The tracks, very easy for these to be done. It's just two parts, and they're just glued together like that. It's not the greatest seam, but at the end of the day, most of that's hidden, so yeah. But yeah, it's nice enough, easy. I prefer it like this. The tracks, the wheels, everything done in one like that for these small kits. I'm going to blast a bit of black primer all over it. It's Mr. Surfacer, I usually use it, but doing this so everything's the same colour, so that when I'm painting it all, then everything's right. And I know all the plastic's the same colour anyway, but it just makes sure it's all even for me. That's all I prefer. This dries super fast and all. It's a fantastic primer, to be honest. Lots of little nooks and crannies you've got to get it into where you're spraying. You can already see I've done a good section there already. So, but yeah, the paint that were in the pot is no good, so I'm using some Tamiya paint there. You can see, just spraying that on. It's a lovely paint, to be honest. It's a good, nearly all Tamiya spray, fantastic. But if you wanted, you could really shade this in so that you got your darker, lighter areas and stuff like that. But I'm trying to get a bit more of an evenish coat over a lot of it. And it's, as you can see there, very thin coat I'm putting on first. I always like to put a thin coat, let it dry a bit. So it's a lot better if you ask me like that. You tend to find the rest of the paints that goes on fine then. You just got to be careful that you don't overflow the kit when you're spraying it, and you end up with a lot of cracks can appear, blemishes. It can look a bit rubbish if you don't get it right. So thin coat first, you'll be fine after that. Right, I'm painting up the tracks. I've already done a little bit. I've lost the footage. I've lost a bit of footage off of this. I don't know why. Probably forgot to press record, in all honesty. I've done that a few times. But like I say, I'm painting up these tracks now, and very easy to paint when they're done like this. Yeah, some little bits are fiddly, but you can always touch it up after with whatever colour you've already sprayed or whatever, so it blends it in. But all I'm doing is a silver overall at track. It's very basic and simple. And then just be a bit of a wash after, just to try and colour it in a bit more. But you can see it's just a case of just going round it at the tracks and just blasting the silver around like this. Don't forget to do the inside as well, because obviously that bit needs doing. But yeah, very easy to do. They're alright. I have painted, by the way, as you can see there, the block, the shovels, the tools, everything else like that. Again, like I say, I've lost some footage, but hey. This is just a gloss. I'm just painting on there. I've just put a thin coat on just so I can put my decals on. And I have got a video up about them brushes and stuff like that if you want to look at it, and just to see what brushes they are and what I keep in them. But it's just my decal solution, my setting solution, stuff in them like that, just so that it's easy accessible without dipping in pots. The good decals, by the way, the cartograph, and again, can't beat it when you get good decals with a kit. When you get old, well, not old, but even fake rubbish decals, it's a nightmare. It really is. This is your pin wash I've made here. I've made this after, I think it's a bit of burnt umbrella, is it something like that? I think it was. I'm sure it was something like that. And it's just got a bit of thinners in it. And all I'll do is I'll just go around tools, like the engine cover decks, you can see at the back, do the wheels, do all of that kind of thing, just to give a bit of depth and that to it, to make it look like it's a little bit more realistic, as they say. Just helps a little bit. I'll show you in a second how you clean all of that off as well, because it's don't get left exactly like that, but you just want just the edges showing, so that's all you want to do. So what I do is I get a cotton bud, and all I do is I go around and I just rub around edges where I've actually put the pin wash, as you can see there. What you're doing is you're getting rid of the excess. I'll let it dry first, I will say that, and then I just go around like that. But what you can do, if you're not happy there's too much, or it don't look to what you want it to look, you can get some thinners again and just wipe the edges around. But always remember, before you put a pin wash on, and I should have said this earlier actually, if you're going to use enamel paints or thinners and stuff like that, you want an acrylic gloss on it, not an enamel gloss, because if you do, you'll just rub it all straight off. It'll all come off straight down to the paint. So always, like I say, always make sure you do one or the other. But yeah, easy enough to do, as you can see, and you do get a good bit off. The wheels is the biggest standout, I think, because they're all of the like the holes and the bolts and everything like that. You can actually see from the one above to that how much it stands out nice. Really does make a difference. And you can see there, you're just getting the bulk off, leave a bit, make sure it looks nice, and that's it. It's a very simple way to enhance your model. So here I'm going to do a bit of like smoke effects. So the gun barrel, just brush a bit, and all this is a bit of artist's charcoal, and just brush it on it. I take it off of the actual, you get it in sticks, so I take it, fine it down like that with a knife, modelling knife, and I just scrape it off, collect it into a jar like that. You can just get an old brush like this one is here, you just brush it around it like that. And I do it now before I put any more gloss on it, because it's going to get a flat varnish on this, and I do it now so that the varnish will then seal all of that in, so if you ever touch it, you're not coming off on your fingers.
and this is the flat varnish. And this is Winsor Newton flat varnish. My favourite. Everybody knows that if you've watched my videos before. I put it on nearly every kit, unless it's a car or something like that. You're not putting it on that because you don't want it to end up with a flat finish. You want a glossy finish on paint. This is Revell glue now. Very, very similar to the Umbro one. The difference is that applicator where it's like glue come out that like nozzle there, that really thin needle nozzle, makes it a joy to use compared to Umbro. I don't know why they don't give you a little one like this, just Umbro. I mean, probably they've got it marketed Revell and you can't, but I've seen other bottles like that done by other manufacturers. So, but yeah. Well, as you can see, she's all finished. And it's a cracking little kit in all honesty. It really is. It's a joy to build. I find it an absolute blast from the past, as you'd say. Little kits like this is what I used to do when I was younger, and I absolutely loved them. Still do. Still a lot of fun, easy to do. A little bit of weathering about that I've done with my pin wash, as you'd call it, panel lining, whatever. Just a little bit to dirty it up. The little bit of smoke effects there. I've not gone overboard. To me, it's just making it look a little bit more nicer, make the details stand out a bit. But as you can see, beautiful kit. Obviously that bit that I lost, I don't know where it's gone. It's just gone. But anyway, made my own out of a bit of plastic card, and as you can see, not too bad, not perfect, but again, passable in my view. So there you go, lovely little kit. I am well pleased with that, and for money the cost, they're reasonably priced. You can't knock them. And I know this is one of the Aldi versions, or Lidl, whichever you want to call it. I've had it sat there for I think a year or more. But as you can see, it shows you what you're getting, and on there, and as you know, I've shown paints have failed a bit, but it's been nice. It's been a lovely kit, and I've been happy to build it. And would I build another? Definitely, certainly would. Hope you've enjoyed watching me build it, and if it's your first time you've been building models and you've seen how to build this one and you give it a go, let me know. Tell me if you enjoyed it as well. Anyway, I'd say thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up, or even better, give me a subscribe. That'd be fantastic. I'm cracking on with some more kits at the moment. I'll just give you a quick look at what's coming up next, and it's going to be this one. Only partially done at the minute. It's part of a dogfight double from Airfix, so there's a MIG to do as well with it, but like I say, it's coming along lovely. Hope you'll tune in for that one when I get it up. But other than that, thanks a lot everybody. Catch you around later.